Hi, everyone. It's Melissa Anger. Thank you for taking time out tonight to join us for the tennis pre-competition webinar. I also have Steve Bennett on the line. He is going to be our moderator for tonight. So if there's any questions, you can type them into him or you can raise your hand and he will be monitoring that throughout the webinar. So again, thank you for joining us tonight, and I will try not to take up too much of your time. All right, just some of the things we'll go over tonight, just some of the event information, and then tennis specific about the entries and schedule, venue, all that fun stuff for Fall Fest next weekend. So tournament personnel, obviously I'm the staff lead. Abby Landis is from JTCC, will be our co-venue director with Jack Healy. Jack is from Howard County. He's a longtime coach, knows his tennis. So Abby and Jack will be running everything this next weekend for us. And I will just be there as the staff lead, but they will be the go-to people. And then Maggie Hoover. Maggie is my Mount St. Mary's lead. So as you guys know, we have a group of students from Mount St. Mary's that helps take over and helps run this event for us. And Maggie is mine for Ours for Tennis. So make sure you welcome her when you guys see her next Saturday. I'm going to hand it over to Steve Bennett. He's going to go over the overall schedule and just the overall Fall Fest information.
Thank you, Melissa. So again, just the overall event schedule, same as in years past. The delegation registration is the first place you'll come to. The same location. It's in that main upper level of the Knott Arena, which is the big building right by the tennis courts, where you'll get your packets. And then we'll go straight from there into the lower level for the opening ceremony. That will start around 9 o'clock. And then right after that, we will dismiss by sport. So wait for tennis to be called, and then everyone can disperse and go to their competition sites. We're also looking to have a family hospitality and merchandise area. That will be in the lower level of the Knott Arena, right across the hallway from where you'll be seated for the opening ceremony. It's basically right across the hallway on the indoor tennis courts. It'll be the first court closest to the hallway for merchandise and the family hospitality. We're also offering a young athletes program, continuing to offer that at some of our state competitions. That location will be outside of the arena, going down College Lane towards the soccer stadium, and it'll be right in that location. One of the things that we'll talk about in a minute in more detail, but we have a different location for awards this year for tennis. It'll be sharing an awards area with powerlifting. And that will also be in the indoor tennis courts at that first court on the opposite side where the family hospitality and merchandise sales will be. So we'll get into that in just a minute. But again, like we said, in that control center and the previously known as the Horning Hospitality Room, that's where you pick up your packets and report any scratches and that type of thing. So lunch and food services, excuse me, a change this year, there will not be concession stands available. So if you could let your families know that concessions will not be offered as they have been the last 2 years, I believe, during the Fall Sports Fest. So let everyone know that pack their own meals and that kind of stuff for the family members. Obviously, we will have lunches distributed for the official registered delegates from each of the county and area programs, and that will be dispersed by county or area program to the tennis area, and then the coaches can pick those up there. So again, thank you to those coaches who submitted the lunch order form. We appreciate that. Mount St. Mary's is working right now to see if there's anything missing and make sure that we've got everyone covered for their lunches. The event guide, which has a lot of details in that, will be emailed out to everyone in the next day or so. So just look through that for some new information. and you can share that with any families and athletes, partners, anything of that nature. So the more people who have that, the better we'll all be with information sharing. The opening ceremony, again, that will be in the Knott Arena in the main gymnasium, as it has in the past. One thing we are looking for is for one athlete, one partner, or two athletes to carry in the banner during the parade of athletes to recognize the area and county programs. So as tennis coaches, if you have anyone from the tennis program that you would like to nominate, please work that out with your area director. As obviously most counties have multiple sports at this event, and we only need two individuals to help carry in that banner. So work it out amongst yourselves, and then those athletes or partners who will be the representatives to carry in the banner must report by 8:30. Again, that'll be in that same location right across the hallway from the opening ceremony to prepare to walk in during the opening ceremony. If the athletes and partners are not there by that time, most likely we won't be able to include them in the parade just due to the nature of having to get their names, get them up to the MCs, put it in the opening ceremony script and that type of thing. So, but we will obviously recognize the county program, at least mentioning them during the opening ceremony. But again, just really work amongst yourselves within your county and area program for those two names of the individuals that will carry in the banner. Overall layout of the campus, same as in the past. Tennis right as you come off of Route 15, coming into the sports complex side of campus. Obviously, the tennis courts are the outdoor courts there that you see on the left-hand side of the slide. We talked about the control center. That's right by those tennis courts, that main building on the top level. The one thing that I mentioned earlier is look in the bottom left-hand side of if you look at the bottom left-hand side of the slide, where it says Tennis and Powerlifting Awards, Merchandise, and Family Hospitality. Again, that will be on that first court near the hallway. It'll be on one of the corners of that court. And the main thing with that, so we can talk about that now, is with being shared with powerlifting. Powerlifting usually awards at the conclusion of the event, which takes a long time and delays departure. What we're trying this year is, as certain individuals complete one of their events in powerlifting, they come right across the hallway, get awarded, and report right back to get ready for their next lifts for the next event. So I only say that to you guys as coaches to be patient. Hopefully there won't be many delays, but if there are athletes who have finished their competition for tennis and powerlifting athletes come over real quick, we will hold the tennis athletes to get the powerlifting athletes through to present their awards, get them back to their competition, and immediately start awarding the tennis athletes. So just something to be prepared for, so that there's an understanding that we're not playing favoritism to powerlifting whatsoever. It's just their competition is still going on, and based on the nuances of powerlifting in that sport, they come in, get an award for one of their events, go right back out and start competing in another event. So we appreciate your patience and understanding and cooperation with that. Again, we talked about the family hospitality. There'll also be one at cycling, which is right down the road at Fort Ritchie. The one thing is there will be most likely some refreshments at the family hospitality station. Those refreshments are provided by Clipped Wings. Clipped Wings is an organization that services the families of Special Olympics. So just help us with that, policing that area. That's not for athletes. It's not for partners. It's primarily for families coming to support the competitors for the day. So in the past, we have had athletes and partners and everybody come over to grab some snacks, and they run out for the families because they don't want to turn anyone away. So we want to internally police that location and give Clipped Wings and the families that opportunity to meet, talk, and talk with each other. The other thing is we will have an evaluation survey that goes out in the event guide. We'll provide that link to all of you guys. We really emphasize the fact that we look for as much feedback as we can obtain from coaches, partners, athletes, family members, anybody there at the event. We don't just want to hear about things that we need to improve on. We also want to hear things that you liked so that we can continue to provide those things that individuals did appreciate and liked. But also, obviously, we want your feedback on areas where we may be able to improve. So really encourage anyone and everyone from your programs to take part in that survey. Can't stress that enough.
And be nice. It's my first year of tennis. You guys have been amazing. All right. So some of the tennis specific information now. So this is the number of events, athletes and partners and everything that we have this season. Actually, level 4, we have 10 unified doubles. I apologize. I forgot to add in. We have some unified doubles coming from North County High School, who I believe came last year as well, to participate with us from our IUS program, which is the Interscholastic Unified Sports Program, our high school program. So they will be coming again this season, and we'll have 5 level 4 teams and 1 level 2. So that level 4 unified will jump a little bit, but still good numbers this year. Our pilot program is level 3. We have 3 traditional double teams and 3 unified doubles, which is, I think, a good start for starting level 3. And from talking with Greta and Natasha from Frederick Montgomery, who are the 2 counties piloting this program, everything seems to be going great. And hopefully we'll be able to open it up and you guys can see what level 3 is all about next weekend. So just the schedule for tennis specific, we'll have a coaches and unified partner meeting at 10 o'clock right after opening ceremonies. Coaches, please make sure you submit any scratches to Abby and Jack in the morning. We'll have first flight starting at 10:15 on courts 1 through 6, and individual skills will check in at the gazebo right by court 8, and Jack Healy will be running individual skills on court 7 and 8. The rest of the lunch break for skills and the other times are approximate, but we're going to stick to as close to this as we can and get you guys in and out so that the athletes can have a great time and not just sit around all day. So rain plan, should inclement weather occur that may delay some of the games or matches. If it gets too bad, we're going to try to move inside, but again, that's a lot fewer courts, and so we'll have to restructure and reconfigure everything. So please bear with us if that happens. But so if you look over to the right-hand side of the slide, those are 2 separate websites that I found data on for the 20th. The one is AccuWeather. The other is our the new paid weather service that we use that like NCAA, Major League Baseball, NASCAR, all these high-level Major League Baseball uses. And it says pretty much the same thing. It looks like it's supposed to be pretty nice out, a little cloudy, but no rain. So fingers crossed that doesn't change too much unless the temperature goes up a little bit because it might be a little chilly. So fingers crossed, no rain, and it looks like little wind, so we should be good to go for the day of. As you guys know, tennis venue, not much has changed. The only change is that awards, as Steve mentioned, is going to be inside this year. The control center is where the teams will check in. At the control center, we will have some chairs for a staging area where your athletes that are next to go will sit, and that is where they will wait for their next match. So we can keep things moving and not be on the lookout for all the athletes and partners. And when it's their turn, they will be right there at the control center, ready to go, waiting in some chairs. So this will hopefully make things go a little bit quicker and smoother for the whole transition of the day. So the way we're going to do it is, I remember off the top of my head, courts 1 and 2 are going to be level 5. Court 4 is going to be, I'll send this all out because I'm going to confuse myself and you guys. But most have 2 courts, and then once skills is done, we will put some more matches on those courts to get the matches moving along a little bit quicker, so we can get you guys out and the athletes are just waiting around. So as Steve mentioned, awards are now going to be inside, and please be patient with the powerlifters. We're not saying powerlifting is more important, but as Steve mentioned, tennis will be done their competition when they go get awards. Powerlifters will have to go in and start their next event right away. So we'll get you guys in and out, but we think having this inside, we can jazz it up a little bit more and make it more of a actual ceremony, having it inside. Principle of meaningful involvement. I'm not going to go through this that much, but you guys all know this. Make sure that we're blending the skills of the partner and athlete to match each other so that they can have a good match, and one is not taking over the match over the other. And that's not saying the unified partner is always going to do that. The athlete might do it. So we have to make sure neither is overtaking the match. Individual skills competition. As always, we're going to have 2 rounds. So we're going to have the preliminary rounds, and then the skills athletes will have a lunch break. And then once that lunch break is over, then we'll get them in for the awards round. And after that, they are free to go because we'll get them in for their awards and get them out. So we're hoping they'll be done around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, probably closer to 2 o'clock. We're going to get them in and out, and they'll go through their 2 rounds and be on their way. I'm not going to go through all these individual skills competitions. You guys know them all, but as you know, we have the forehand volley, the backhand volley, obviously the measuring of the courts, where the ball lands is how many points they get. There's also the forehand ground stroke, the backhand ground stroke. Same setup on the court. The alternating ground strokes with movement so that the athlete can show that they can move with the ball and go after it. Again, same setup with the court. So with the court, what we're going to do is this one probably only have one person go at a time, but the other ones will have 2 athletes on the court at one time so that we can get them in and out without interfering with each other. Then we'll also get the serves going and get them scored. So uniform requirements, obviously proper tennis attire must be worn at all times. No jeans or dressy style formal pants. Have to be in athletic gym shorts or conventional tennis shorts, or for the females, tennis skirt is allowed. And again, we do strongly recommend that their bottoms have pockets in them. But obviously it's not a requirement, but we do strongly recommend that. With the weather being what it is, I will, as of right now, allow long sleeve shirts under their shirt. So their uniform shirts have to be on top, and the undershirt must match the shirt. So it can't be some crazy color. It has to match whatever color shirt they are wearing. So if their uniform is white, have either white or black underneath. No crazy colors underneath, please. But they can wear something underneath their uniform as long as their uniform is over top. That is, the shorts and the shirt, uniform shirt, must be over top of whatever they wear underneath. And 62 in Emmitsburg is still a little chilly, so we want to make sure the athletes are comfortable, but still having their uniforms over top of that. Tennis shoes are required. No black-soled shoes. We don't want to mess up the court and scuff the court up or anything. Doubles teams must match. They have to have the same uniform. Collared shirt has to be worn. If it's a non-colored shirt, it is appropriate as long as it is tennis attire. Some more reminders. Matches. A match will consist of 1 6-game no-ad set with a margin of 2 games with a 7-point tiebreak played at 6-all. So obviously, if it gets to 6-6, then they will play the 7th game and get that going so you can get the tiebreak. No ad scoring system, which is the same we've been doing the last couple of years, will be used for all match play. First player to win 4 points wins the game. The 7th point of the game is a game point for each player. So again, same thing you guys have been doing all season, but just some reminders for you. Coaches on the court. 1 designated Special Olympics coach may sit on the court. Now, this is only someone that is a registered delegation member. It cannot just be their parent. It cannot be an assistant coach that's not registered. If you have questions about who is registered and who is not, please ask. Only those coaches will be allowed on the tennis courts. They're allowed to sit in the chair. It's going to be located next to the post, next to the umpire's chair. You may coach a player when the player changes ends at the end of an odd game only. You may not coach after the first game of each set and not during the tiebreak game. So again, you guys know all this. We will have a USTA official there. She's been there the past couple of years. She's done lots of Special Olympics events. She'll be there. She'll be our roving official. So as of right now, we only have the one official for all the courts. So she'll be doing her best to go up and down, just watching, answering questions, making sure everything's going smoothly for us. But I'm sure if you guys have been around for a while, you know Miss Winky. She will be back again. So any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be sending out the match schedule by Thursday of next week. So please be on the lookout for that. Again, it will be posted. We'll get large copies of it posted as well. So just be on the lookout for that and be ready for it. But if there's any questions, you can go ahead and raise your hand and we can answer them. I know I went through this kind of fast.
And I don't see any currently, but as we wait for any questions again, Melissa, myself, and Mike Sarnowski and everyone here at the state office really appreciates all of your guys' efforts as coaches, working through the competitions leading up to the state event, and providing the best guidance and training for the athletes and partners. And obviously, without the coaches, we have no competition, and we really can't stress enough how much we appreciate all of your efforts throughout the season.
We have a question. Will there be score monitors on court for level 5? Yes, we will have score keepers on each court for each game. So, Luis, I hope that answers your question. But yes, each court will have their own set of scorekeepers that will monitor the score to help the athletes if needed. Anything else? Again, I know I went through this pretty quickly. So feel free if you think of something later to reach out to me. You guys all have my cell phone number. My email is on this current slides. So please feel free to reach out to me, and I will do my best to answer the questions, even though I come to you guys for a lot of the tennis-related questions. But that's why we have Abby and Jack running the competition for me, because they are tennis pros and they know what they're doing. So opening ceremonies will be at 9 a.m. So you guys want to get there probably about 8:30 and watch opening ceremonies, and then we'll have a coaches meeting at 10 a.m. right before the matches start at 10:15. So I would strongly recommend everyone go to opening ceremonies. It's always a great experience. And I look forward to meeting everyone there, because there's a couple of you guys I've talked to, but we haven't formally met yet in person. So I look forward to seeing and meeting you guys all. I will be running back and forth from flag football and tennis. So if I'm not there for a minute, just go to Jack and Abby, and I'll introduce them at the coaches meeting, for those that don't know them. But I have all the faith in the world in both of them. And if I ask you guys to help with something, I hope you guys will be willing to, but I'm not going to as much as I can, as you guys are coaching. But please work with us to make this the best for the athletes, because that's what's important. We want to do this for the athletes. So any help is obviously greatly appreciated. But if there's no other questions, then I look forward to seeing you over there, and I'll send out the slides for you guys sometime tomorrow. So you'll have the recording and the slides by tomorrow afternoon. All right? So if there's no other questions, thank you guys again for taking time out of your Thursday night, and I look forward to seeing everyone next weekend. Have a good night, everyone.